Hey there team, and welcome to Osgiliath. I've actually been wanting to do an Osgiliath fight for a little while. 24,000 frames. It's a 4v3. That's still quite fast for Osgiliath. Seeing that, we'll see. Anyway, this is another little Nawaki Thanatos, I'm guessing. Yeah, good. So double little Nawaki Thanatos defense. Khazad and Mirkwood tends to be how they roll. We will see how it plays out for them today. Osgiliath is quite a challenging defense. This is the rebuilt Osgiliath that they're on here. So they do at least have these fully rebuilt walls that they can hide behind and that the attackers are going to be having to clamber over. I'll go through their armies afterward. What I'll just kind of do is sort of hover, ramble for a minute, go through the attackers, then come back to the defenders after. Hopefully it won't take too long for the attackers to deploy. It looks like we've got lots of evil factions, maybe 2 Mordors in the north, 2 Misties in the south, perhaps. But we'll see when they actually do get deployed. As I say, Osgiliath, even with the walls constructed, you are still quite exposed out here. You get a long-range archer set up here. You can pepper there, you can pepper down here. It's pretty nasty, and you've got to defend this area. You can't just fall all the way back. This is the town centre. So, and with a 4v4, we've got 2 full armies up here. Usually, say in a 5v3, you've only got 2 armies here and 3 armies there. That just tends to be how it seems to be worked out. Whereas, with this, with full on half the attacking force is going to be approaching from the weaker side. It's there's going to be difficulties. I've never actually noticed that they're ever. I wonder, is this on the correct map? Because usually on the Osgiliath map, I'm sorry, my cat is being very strange right now. What are you eating? He's being very odd right now. This little Basil boy. He's I'm going to be like stumbling a lot because he's going to keep ramming the back of my legs. But I do have to stress, before I started today, I did go around. I walked around my house with him for at least, at least half an hour. I gave half an hour of Basil time just to hopefully entertain him so that he'd keep calm during this recording. But he's immediately come in and started to sit upon me. So we'll see. Hopefully he does settle down. We do have Angmar. So it is Angmar. It is over there. It will be in the description, of course. Harad. Mumakil inside is interesting. We do have an Umbar. And a Mordor. I like that mix-up. That's quite a cool mix of factions. Quite a cool mix of factions. Quite a cool mix of powers as well. So we'll see how it works out. Angmar here, played by Briar Thomas too. So he's got his orc fellers out front. Gonna want to keep those boys. At the same time, they're very low quality, but I would shoot them because I'm silly and crazy. I would definitely shoot something like that. Guardians of Carndum, Gundabad Guard behind them. Guardians of Carndum again. These Trolls of Angmar. We do have the dreaded Witchers, but approaching from this open space, they're going to have to be a bit careful. They're going to be an easy target. The Black Guard there, more Trolls. And over here, Pike Guard. Now, I'm sure that we've got hidden units. I'm sure we have, say, Snag of Stalkers and the Barrow Wights as well. For a siege attack, for a siege defense too, you always really want to have the Barrow Wights for Angmar. Over here, Warlord, nice and tight and safe with his orc fodder out front in this formation. Bit dicey if, say, there was artillery that could be coming in to rattle him, but he's got his artillery himself, and that's why he's got all of his siege towers in this position just to protect that artillery. He's got his Moranon halberds on the flanks behind some Minas Morgul Chosen, Orc Javes, Temple Guard, and the Nazgul. The Olokai, I always enjoy this. The Olokai pushing the ram is always a cool sight as well. I might try to just. That's quite a cool vibe. We'll see. I'm sure we'll get a different picture later on, but that's a cool start. Just in case we forget, because I do sometimes do that. Over here we have Umbar, big time tank, 88. So he's got his Umbar forces, as we say. He's got Belagar pikes there without an armor upgrade. Alcarondas Legion, the Balakith Axeguard. Oh, RIP my boys, no longer in the new version. The model is still there, but they themselves are not. Balakith Marksman, Alcarondas Legion. Are my shield bearers? Where are my shield bearers? They have to be somewhere, I'm sure. No, Belagar Footman, maybe not, maybe not. And then lastly, we have Harad. Added, cool. So we have Demons of the Desert, a Southron Pikes, Southron Warband, the Mumakil, as I say, okay, so I mean it's Adin doing it, so I'm expecting he knows what he's doing with this thing. I'm still be careful. Hashari Stalkers there, interesting with the ram, the siege tower. He's just got these siege towers just to be a shield, really. He was not going to be using all of them. You can't really. Can you put a siege tower there? I don't think so, because you can't move through there with a siege tower. Yeah. Oh well. Anyway, defenders today. We'll see what the boys are how they're wanting to set up. We're going to be seeing some pretty impressive armies, of course, because it's 4v3 or 4v2. So he's got his 2nd Legion Axeguard, the Sons of the Fallen, 3rd Legion Infantry with that armor upgrade looking absolutely destructive. We do have a catapult here that can do some real damage to that Mumakil. Orc Hunters, Guards of Khazad, the Hammers of Gundabad with the 1st Legion Pikes, armor-piercing pikes there, yeah, absolutely just devastating. Reclaimers, Mithril Guard, nothing back here. The hammers, more Hammers of Gundabad, more Sons of the Fallen. So yeah, we're seeing just a lot of quality. Armor upgraded Hiri Ek. Now this is from Nawaki's army. We have started. I'm going to go to 0.5 speed because I do, well, 0.6. I think things are going to go pretty quick. Greenwood Rangers, 2 Greenwood Rangers, and Elven King Palace Guard with an armor upgrade. Over here, Woodland Protectors, Hiri Peng, Hiri Lang, and Wardens of Amon Lank. Gorgeous guys. Only 2 Rangers on display today, because of course Khazad cannot have them, and 3 units of Rangers would be a bit bold. Sindar of the Girdle, Orc Hunters there. Anything else absolutely crazy? Armor upgraded Hiri Oth and Hiri Ek again. Elders of the Elven King and Elven King Palace Guard. So we've got 2 Elven King Palace Guard, both of them with armor upgrades. That's a very interesting shout. Orcfeller standing guard there. This is, I mean, I was thinking the Sindar would run out. I would still do it even now. Why did we put stakes there? No, I wouldn't have put stakes there. I mean, maybe he's just wanting to use his Sindar inside, but for me, I really would have had my Sindar running out here and smacking these guys. I know the Goblin Trackers are there, but I think one good charge. RIP, so many Orcfellers. Your Sindar can take a few hits from something like the Goblin Trackers, you know? And there's no wargs. The trolls would chase you around. You can hit the trolls if you want. I would be a bit crazy with my Sindar here, but maybe that would end up losing me my Sindar, and that might end up being disastrous later. Over on this end, you know, the guys that are deploying on the western side, they've always got to, you know, bide their time a bit, let their allies approach, let their allies organize a little bit. You know, their allies have to they've got to cross the river. Takes them a bit of time. Is he going to cross the bridge? I don't think anybody's crossing the bridges. I think these bridges are a bit tricky to... Oh, can that one be crossed? I don't think this bridge can be crossed. No, definitely not. Of course, the enemy just not wanting to cross that bridge because it's been sabotaged. So they know that it'll immediately break underneath the weight of this strength. The Mumakil, though, have the power to probably cross this river wherever they want. Bold seeing them moving ahead. Moving ahead of the rest of the forces like that. I'd be a little bit scared, as I say, about that catapult. Oh, let's go to 1 times speed again now. We can get into it. But yep, Harad leading the way. I'd really want... I mean, it's not the end of the world really, but I'd really want Umbar to be leading the way. I like that as well. We've got the 2 evil man factions from the east and the 2 orcish factions from the west. You'd argue it'd probably be the other way around, you know, the Corsairs and so on taking the evil men up to strike from the west. while the orcs are coming from Mordor in the east, but no, that's the opposite way around today. The orcs have found some other route across, crossing at Caer Andros or so on, while the evil men have landed elsewhere. So we'll see. Yeah, it seems a bit weird to take Caer Andros before Osgiliath, but yeah. So the Fallen. Oh yeah, again, something that I always do like to sort of gander at when we're in. Osgiliath is, of course, this beautiful wee picture hiding away in here. Only in, of course, the fixed version of Osgiliath. No damage, of course. Any troops you do see getting knocked down, not getting... Oh, wow. Getting knocked around. Oh, we do have some damage to one of the walls. I'm wondering, actually, because it's water, you've got to be a little bit careful. Not that they're going to drown, but they might, like, technically sort of fall under the ground slightly and end up dying. But either way, they're okay. So, I didn't even consider, of course, that's going to be busting holes open through that wall. It's going to be very difficult to hold that open area. I think that, but you're seeing smaller armies from the, because there's 4 of them, there's quite small armies from these attacking forces. So that means they have to be more coordinated than they would be otherwise. They can't just kind of come in here willy-nilly and expect to win the day. They've got to make sure that they're working in tandem with each other. Goblin trackers here just taking fire from the towers, not really going to do much. They're going to be fine with that. Orc fellers continuing to push that ram. A few of them no doubt taken out by towers, but not very many. You see towers will rack up kills, but it takes them a very long time to do that, even up against very fragile enemies. I'm moving my head around, so like the sound is going to be a bit odd. The reason is just because I'm keeping an eye on my cat. If he does get a bit close, I will capture him, just so that he's not bad for a few minutes. But no, sometimes you just have to secure these kittens, so that they're not going to try and be sneaky. As he's got this thing where he comes up, because he's quite a large cat, Basil. He's a very, very large ragdoll cat, so he's got some strength to him. So when he comes up and he sort of bops me in the back of the knee with a solid headbutt, that will jerk me out of place. And it's frightening. It's frightening is what it is. Still, Adin, I mean, sure, he knows what he's doing. Adin's pretty damn skilled with this, so he's moving these siege towers in such a way that that his army and the river itself, which would be a beautiful place, like, I mean, gosh, imagine just bringing your catapult fire right down here, carving through the Umbar lines. They can't really do that, or at least not as easily and effectively, because of the siege towers that are at play. Over here, Southron Warband approaching, so we do have 2 entrances over here, but I'm interested to just know where we're going to be starting the fight. It's good from Warlord, he's taking his time to approach quite carefully. Again, the towers are going to be primarily, like, they like to shoot siege equipment. They can destroy siege equipment, but it takes a very, very long time. So I'd much rather they're shooting my siege towers than my troops, though. Over here. Oh, wow. Okay, Briar is in. Nice. And right now his fight seemed to be going okay, but this is where, like, Sindar. One smack from the Sindar, and this is over. This is not something that I think Nawaki was expecting. It's very cool, but those Gundabad Guard need to get in there ASAP before that Sindar arrive. Hammers of Gundabad. Oh, that's a very narrow way there. Just through that avenue. Snagger Archer still firing. See, with the Snagger, I'd love to run up there now. He must have accidentally... Oh, he's not taking any siege equipment. Yeah, not any siege towers. But still, you could run in through there. You could start taking the walls with your archers. Like, this is definitely... Nawaki's definitely kicking himself a bit. I mean, these Elven King Palace Guard are me loving that engagement. Really not having a bad time. Briar's not going to be inflicting many casualties here. But, I mean... Yeah, requiring reinforcements to come on over. I like it a lot, but this unit's about to break. Probably from that charge. No, stubborn Gundabad Guard. Even the Hammer is a Gundabad. Or sorry, Guard is a Carndum, not Gundabad. Oh, Gundabad Guard are here. Good, Gundabad Guard going toe to toe with the Hammer is a Gundabad. That's a nice matchup. I think as much as Warlord maybe wants to be slow, wants to be a bit careful here, he's going to have to get involved a little bit faster. if he wants to make use of Angmar's sacrifice. It's always tough to know what's best. Sometimes you are wanting to just say, let your allies sacrifice. You know, if they want to sacrifice, you know, you're not built around that. You've not built your army to do that. Sometimes you just got to let them do it and be like, sorry, dude, I've got to take things slow. I've got to take things careful. I'm not throwing my lives away. But sometimes, yeah, you've got to. It's a use them or lose them situation. And if Angmar's getting stuck in, sometimes you just got to get stuck in. Over here, yeah, Hammer's going to be enjoying that fight. Again, Gundabad Guard spearmen, so you got that defensive skill from the spear. But that heavy armor that Gundabad Guard have, you see them. They've got a lot of the stolen dwarven models. Oh, no. Because they've not really received many armor upgrades, when they do start to receive armor upgrades, they start to wear a lot more dwarven models, which I think is very cool. Orc fellers coming in now. I mean, if they charge the Hiri Peng, that's all right, but it'd be lovely to get the Orc fellers around behind the Hammerers of Gundabad, get a charge into their backs. But those Elven King Palace Guard, they're now finished. Very few losses, but a bit of damage across the board for them. Those Orc fellers are not going to last long, though. They are going to end up getting broken very, very soon, no doubt. We need those Witchers. We need those Witchers forward, I think, because, I mean, it's not super dramatic, but even burning something like this, or oh my god, imagine burning the Palace Guard with Witchers. Armor upgraded Palace Guard when you're an attacker. God, that would be horrific. We need these pikes involved too. Like, I like what Briar is doing, but if he's you can't you can't really do half measures. If you're either coming in swinging like this, or you're not, or you're holding back. And the fact that he's started to come in, he needs to just go for it. And I think genuinely, if he went all out right now, the boys aren't ready for that. They don't have what's necessary. They don't have what's there. And although, I mean, there's not really a major attack happening elsewhere in the map. Like, they're pressing through the gates now, but there's not a major attack happening elsewhere. You can get a lot of kills with the army composition that you've brought. Alcarondas Legion getting backstabbed there, but they are locked morale, so they will fight to the very end, even if they're not, dealing massive casualties to the enemy. Shield Bearers, they're the boys I was looking for. Of course, very, very sad to see the Shield Bearers missing from the new version. I really, really like my Shield Bearers, but as I always say, every faction has had to sacrifice to make way for these new factions. So yes, it is what it is. So they losing them is just it's had to be done. But the Shield Bearers coming in there, like a huge amount of mass. If they wanted to do a shield wall push, they could bust open the Sons of the Fallen here. Cat is wanting to be petted. He's laying on my bed. I may go quiet for a quick second as I just sort of give him a little scratch, just so that he's content. We can see over here these. Wow, that's a lot of dead dwarves. That's a lot of dead dwarves. What did that? Demons? Yummy. Okay, and those are not. Yeah, they're not bad dwarves. Are these the Sons of the Fallen? Surely not. Don't quite know what they are. They're not 3rd Legion. I was there just because the cat was needing some attention. Orc Hunters of Khazad arriving now. Khazad's pouring in. Of course, oh wow, another good hit from the demons. So yeah, that's a lot of damage there. Okay, cool. I'm having to slow down a little bit because I think things are happening quite quick. Goblin Trackers out of ammunition coming on forward now. Yeah, you can see this formation has been busted pretty badly now. Everything that he's had inside has either sort of been broken or gutted by the Elven defenders. Very high damage Wood Elves. We're seeing over here Warlord advancing now to using his Temple Guard. Again, yeah, we talked about how just open out this area is. Not really anywhere for the elves to hide. Temple Guard with their armor-piercing archers, showing that sort of Numenorian heritage in them. Getting through into the Sindar, into the backs of the Sindar. Sindar don't have shields anyway, so that's very, very nasty. Or Sindar of the Girdle don't have shields. Very unpleasant. So yeah, even though Warlord is coming in a little bit more slowly, a little more carefully than his orcish ally across the way, he's still causing a tremendous deal of damage. Over here, how is Umbar doing? They've got a very nasty tight choke point. and the shield bearers unfortunately are being battered down by the Sons of the Fallen. Definitely could have been an idea to have sort of maybe saved them for a little minute later. You know, let some other units, let the pikes grind away for a minute and then come in with a shield wall push and bust this line open with that, I believe, 8 mass of the Balakith shield bearers. Over here we're seeing the crossbows firing away. I'd love to... Whoa! Okay. So hey, the Haradrim have the demons, but the dwarves have their fearsome catapult. And they have certainly been using it here. Gotten a big break on these Haradrim. The champions are through, but it looks like probably a champion or two has fallen to that catapult fire. Orc hunters sending arrows here and there. Oof, dear, another smash. But that's up against these routing units. Oh, a few champions actually taking that, perhaps, or being mixed in amongst it. So Adam won't be too upset about that burning. But no, yeah, so we're going over here, wiping out those axe guard very quickly. Orc hunters trying to get up close just to shoot those exceptional warriors. This is really where, well, we need just more coming forward, I'd say. I'd really say that we just need more troops flooding in now. I don't know why we're being a little more cautious than I would have thought. Especially when you were using the champions of Neferat so early, I would have expected to see a lot of these other Haradrim infantry rushing on forward to go alongside them. And still, Angmar's holding back. There will have been a notice, if this has gone out of sync, there will have been a notice at the start of the video. If there is some strangeness going on here. But no. Firing up and over, unfortunately. Orc fodder rushing on forward. Engaging the Elves of the Elven King. A few shots coming up and over, sniping the back of the Orc fodder, but any of those shots that are coming into the Elves of the Elven King is going to be absolutely devastating. Over here, Blackguard making a push alongside the Oleg High, trying to get stuck into the Hiri Peng perhaps, but I mean and the Sindar most likely, but no, tying up with the Hammers of Gundabad. Oh, fantastic, we can get a siege tower here. Oh wow, I mean if we can get siege towers up here, then this is going to be devastating for the defenders. We can start getting the Corsair crossbows, or at least they're going to have to start sending stuff up there to hold that wall. Over here, Adin continuing his push. He's got a very, very nasty push to make through the catapult lines there. And nobody wants to be the one sort of facing that catapult. Lucky miss. Into the stalkers, another one into the stalkers, but to be honest with you, I'd much rather they're blasting my stalkers than getting right into the middle of my Southron on pikes and so on. Haradrim spears routing there, maybe, I know they're routing, but if these guys start to fight to the death, that could be great right now. They're not going to do any damage, but like they'll stop the catapult firing. They even did it anyway, well done! Good on the Hashari spearmen there, or not Hashari spearmen, Haradrim spears. Well, we got Snaga archers firing away. It looks like Briar is happy enough just to hold the line now. I mean, Nawaki needs to just leave quite a large force to like stare him down. It means he's really lacking in troops that he can send over to sort of answer to the Mordor assault. I would really, I know it sounds a bit crazy, but to be honest, if I was Warlord, I would maybe just pull these dang Orc fodder away. They're gonna break and they're just gonna die, but then the Temple Guard just get clear shots into the Elves of the Elven King, and that's quite a long way. They'll take like about 3 or 4 shots while they rush in. A few of them will drop. They're really nasty for them. Or they'll start to have an exchange of fire, which is just not going to be pleasant for them. Not going to be pleasant for either side, I'm sure. These Greenwood Rangers getting caught. What is going on? What is going on in this fight? This is a very strange confrontation. I need to check the Discord message that I think it must have been Nawaki that sent this to me. But there's a lot of very strange moves being done by these players to see what's going on. Mithril Guard getting sent on in again. Adin receiving another one of these powerful dwarven tools against him. It really looks like the dwarves are holding the east side, whereas the elves are on the west. There's a bit of mixing it up here and there with them, but yeah, Of course, lacking a catapult, we can't break one of these open, so we can't actually use the dreaded Mumakil. If Adam was on the other side, that could have been absolutely devastating. But still, there's arrows coming in, lots and lots of them, and it's a very scary unit for the dwarves to be having so close to them. Fresh unit of dismounted serpent guard coming forward now. Let's zoom the minimap in a little bit, see if that's making anything a bit clearer. Over here, still, another fresh unit of shield bearers from the Balakith forces that could have maybe been used to break through. Shield bearers still there, nice shield, good armor. No armor upgrades for them today, it looks like, but they're still coming in with that AP smack from their mace, which is going to be very good. And we've got that crossbow fire coming in, but again, I'd much rather getting the crossbows up top here on this wall. You know, I know they've maybe not got the best targets up there, but I mean, from there as well, you can get up on that wall, you can start running down here. We need to be using every avenue that we have, guys. Over here, the Iron Watch of Miramir arriving now too. I mean, if they could position themselves like right here, just get this up and overshot, we're going to be seeing like mortars. Oh, okay, we don't need the mortar strikes. Gosh, damn. We have that. Don't need the mortar when we've got the damn catapult just ripping holes through the lines, and that'll be. God, that's rough for Adam. That's very rough for Adam. A lot of his forces just getting there, getting stuffed there, trying to route, getting sort of bugged out of this gateway, and when they're bugged out of that gateway, that's causing a constant morale debuff to every unit around them. At least when they route properly, they get away from the fight. And Briar is just not, he's just holding. This is the thing that's confusing me. It's like, where is he? What's going on? Is he AFK? Is he, I'm going to one-time speed for now, because we're doing all right. I'm just interested in this fight. It's like, what's happened here? Right, okay, look. Hiri Lang, they're setting up over here. They're right behind the Chosen. Okay, they're backstabbing them now. This is just like, how did they get here though? Why are they allowed to get here? We need to be shooting this unit. Over here, the Orc Fodder, another unit of Hiri Lang. Real elven sort of backstabbing going on. Shadowbows, still body piercing ranger in this version. Which is devastating toward the low armored Mirkwood. Even with that armor upgrade to give them that green armor set, they're still very fragile to armor. Sauron's Well, halberds, and Orc Javies surrounding this unit of Hiriek. Yeah, they're totally surrounded in here. That's quite a cool shot, maybe. Maybe do that. That could be cool. Let's try and get that flag in there, boys. That could be a cool shout. Is the Sauron's Well, they will bring this down. It's always good to get like a full surround on the enemy. It doesn't often happen, but no, the Orcs are able to achieve it up against the Elves a fair bit. Just outnumbering them so badly. Hammers of Gundabad arriving, dealing with those Blackguard of Barad-dûr with their mere 6 mass, unlike the Balakith Shield Bearers 8. Still far more than a standard person. They were one of the first units to sort of get that big sort of mass buff and sort of push through units really effectively. It's a bit wild. But no, now some others do it a bit better. But they're still they've got a large unit size, so they can, like, whereas with the Blackguard of, not Blackguard of Barad-dûr, the, what's the Angmar one? I can't remember. Blackwatch Legion, they've got 10 mass, absolutely colossal, but it's a very small unit size, whereas the Blackguard of Barad-dûr, it's less than that, it's only 6 mass, but there's so many of them. You can see over here Adin not wanting to waste any more troops trying to push through his choke point. He's pouring himself on in here. We must not be able to climb up these siege towers. I think these siege towers are just placed here. They're just placed there to sort of block from arrow fire or something. I don't think you can cross there. And it makes so that you must not be able to make a landing here either. I'm sure I've seen people move siege towers here, but obviously not. I mean, one of the boys would have done it. Over here, Balakith Axe Guard, kind of interesting. It looks like, yeah, so, I mean, well, this is good as well. The boys have sort of swapped out. And those Mithril Guard, of course, they're going to be absolutely ripping these Balakith Axe Guard up, but the Balakith Axe Guard are at least going to do some decent damage to them. We need Angmar forward. Oh, whoa, whoa. Oh, wait, whoa. What? Interesting. I mean, it's interesting. But I would have just come forward in this position. Like, we could have bested that. We could have beaten this with this force. I understand the sense of it, but it's like now Nawaki's just been given. He can leave like one unit here. He can leave this unit here, just guarding that gate. Everything else can just gather up and shunt their way over. Yeah, of course now they're going to face you somewhere else, but I would have wanted to keep the defenders spread. I wouldn't have wanted to come in through that entranceway. Maybe you wouldn't have breached it, but you would have killed those guys and just stopped them from being able to aid anybody else. Chosen there. Oh, Trolls of Angmar coming over. Okay, that's a bit messy, and it's definitely not something that the woodland protectors want to fight. I'm wondering, are there any of those catapult crew still alive? 6 of them. They're broken there. I really appreciate that Nawaki has had these hidden units just dotted all around the place. That's very, very cool. Very, very Mirkwood-esque. Even in the city, they're hiding, and they're going to be sort of bursting out. What is a building if not just a big stone tree? The Reclaimers pouring there. Oh, they can through. You can't cross this area, but you can still throw things through it. Both the attackers and defenders can. So that's a very nice use of that. Maybe the Sashari Shadows could position themselves over here and rip that up. Right now the demons are receiving the attention from those Reclaimers. Mumakil's still standing. Well, the Mumakil just can't do anything here. Not until a wall breaks, which I don't really see happening. Not now that the... if you were that Mordor catapult, you'd love to maybe come, try and get over here, sort of bust this hole open or something like that, but no, that can't really happen. Battles through the streets in these areas, goodness sake. Greenwood Rangers taking some fire. Elders of the Elven King around as well. It's been a very mobile attack from Mordor. Mordor doesn't have too much left in the tank, but the Gundabad, Trolls of Gundabad even, here already, and more of the Angmarim arriving shortly. Again, Minas Morgul Chosen. It's a very cool city fight. I really enjoy this one. It's it's just been like a messy, just individual unit clashes all across the Osgiliath, which I say, it's very quirky. It's very odd. It's confused me a little bit, but I really like it, and that's why, like, when we zoom into the minimap, it just looks so strange. You've just got all these various little clumps mixed in amongst each other. You need to leave something, yeah, so as I say, if Nawaki just leaves that Hiriek behind... Now, also, those Witchers. The only thing that could have... Because we did see the Elders over here for a while, didn't we? So maybe they came over and assassinated... They may have come over and assassinated the Witchers, but maybe not. That must have been the Iron Watch that did that. Iron Watch killing off the Haradrim General. I think he was over here and amongst... I think he might have been amongst the demons. Worthy enough target there from the Iron Watch. But still, that's a sizable amount of demons. Still active. What I'd be very scared of is just if those Mumakil end up going running amok for some reason. They're getting a little bit kooky here. Trying to get pushed through the main gate. They can't cross it, can they? Whoa, they can! Okay. Right, they can cross. We need to... Oh no. Oh no. That is not good. Because that's... Those Mumakil have just blocked that gateway. Oh dear. The pikes, those First Legion pikes are so fearsome. They managed to stop the damn Mumakil charge. And with the Mumakil bodies, they've blocked that now. You can't cross that. Or if you can cross through this. This is like it. This is the only path you can take now. You can't come through this way. Those Mumakil, when they die, they're blockages. Goodness sake, okay. That's changed the game a bit. The attackers from the eastern side can now only come through this tiny choke point. Over here, Witch Realm Pikes advancing still, up against those Elders of the Elven King Palace Guard. Bit unpleasant, definitely unpleasant for the Trolls too, that's not a fun fight for them. Oh, that's okay. Just deliberate the door, that's alright. Pikes jabbing away though. The pikes are probably the best shout just to try and deal some damage to them bit by bit. More Gundabad Guard over here coming in to replace the Minas Morgul Chosen. Shadowbows arriving. Javies. These guys that were just dealing with the Hiriek. Now as well, like, they can start taking that town centre. They can start taking the town centre, and then, I mean, these defenders over here are going to have to deal with them. I'd be really tempted. I'd probably take my Sarons well and run them off to the town centre. I mean, Reclaimers are there. Hiri Peng. Nah, I think... Because, I mean, well, the whole thing of taking the town centre is you've got to, like, vastly outnumber whatever the defenders have in the town centre. So, this unit of Reclaimers would easily, like, outnumber whatever they've got. We do need those guys stopped, though. They've still got ammo. And they can definitely sort of blunt that charge. As much as I love it, this is really, it's such a strange fight. It's a really, really odd fight from everybody. You know, everybody's tactics have been really different, but it's worked quite well, and it's made, as I say, it's made for a really interesting scuffle. As we're sort of battling outside this temple, the pikes, dearie me, Legion bodyguard there, fighting back to back those pikemen. Elders still firing away. 2 Snagga archers, don't know where the hell they came from, but they're running. Might have been some survivors from this area. There's nothing actually left over here. I don't think there's anything. I don't think he's got any hidden barrow wights or something. Not that that's really... Barrow wights aren't exactly the surprise attack force. You know, they're not really built for that. Yet Catapult moved over here because, of course, this has been blocked. Yeah, you can see they can attack, but it's through this. Like, you can see this Mimikill trying to force his way through. He can't do that. I don't know if the Mimikill can squeeze through that. I didn't think the Mimikill could squeeze through this gate. I don't think Mimikill could get through gates. But, oh! Well done! Well done, Mimikill. Managed to sort of stomp over the... No! Okay, well, that's secured it then. That's fully secured it then. I don't think... I mean, maybe, yeah, these Sentinels are doing their very best just to get in. Deary me, okay, well that's... yeah, I'd be interested to know how much damage this Mimikill did. It's been up against some very, very high tier Dwarven units, so it probably won't be that many kills, but some good smacks. Hammers and Gundabad standing guard there. Again, not a lot left in the tank for the defenders. There's only really ranged power remaining here, though. So if they do manage to get in, they can start running riot, causing a bit of damage out in the open here. Defenders used up a lot of their ammo, really having to sort of huddle up around the town centre now to stop the attackers from being able to get that quick victory. Blackguard, Witcher on Blackguard in a pretty naff spot. A few last survivors here. I don't exactly know what that was. A few dwarves by the looks of things. Reclaimers there. Can we get a backstab going on here? How did these Reclaimers get around? They must have run around this way. Everybody's just slipping around behind each other. Witchers. Oh no. If those Reclaimers go for the Witchers, that is game over. Those Witchers are really a tool that the attackers need now. Okay, we're shooting at them, but we need these Gundabad Guard to go for them. Ouch. We really need those Gundabad Guard to stop them from firing, because those Witchers are just not going to deal the damage quick enough. Not from this angle, of course. If they could get the side-on shot, that's what every Witcher dreams. But no, they've not been able to get that today. A few of these Woodland Protectors throwing off javelins toward them too, just trying to keep those Witchers. That's really the only tool that the attackers have left that can really do the damage, because these Balakith marksmen, the Serpent's Fangs, as much as I love them, the crossbowmen, they're just not gonna be enough. Maybe if they could secure a nice position and really use up their ammo, perhaps, but I just don't think so. Only scraps remaining over here, though. The Iron Watch are still pretty sturdy. We're getting this single combat situation going on. These Belagar footmen pushing through, he's just trying to get out. He's not been allowed out by his allies, so he's trying to just push in through the dwarves to find a way out. No, but the Iron Watch are not having it. Still some more footmen trying to push in. That's very interesting, just that tiny little slither of space. That is, oh dear, what was dealing? Oh, that was Elder Fire. Elders dealing with last of the Witchers. They're great sort of for that elite hunting. But of course with that high mass arrow, they're able to sort of knock the enemies around a bit. Goodness sake. Khazad Reclaimers. Oh, I've said it before a bit. Well, I've said it in other videos, but they're probably coming out in quite a while. Because they're on some secret maps of the new version. But if you're watching these videos at any time and you're thinking like that was a really cool moment, that was a really cool like sort of 2-minute or 1-minute moment, please, you know, pop a comment down, pop a timestamp down, because I'm trying to make some shorts, trying to make a few shorts and slide them out, just because I think it definitely gives me a different audience that I can try to drag in. You know, hoping to, you know, get some people that are watching these shorts, watching these quick, like high intensity 1-minute clips, that I can then just be like, oh, you know, hey, come over, watch the full video, and maybe, you know, think about grabbing a 20-year-old game. How about it, eh? Yeah, and that could be good. So yeah, please give a shout if you ever do see something like that. Always appreciated. Reclaimers. Yeah, they could try and just finish these guys off, but it's a bit unnecessary. I'd say with the death of the Witchers, it's over really for the attackers. This is kind of it's definitely taken a few twists and turns. I think it's a very, very unique way to defend Osgiliath, and very cool. I mean, yeah, you're seeing the areas that bodies are, like it's all over the place. There were just these little fights and the backstabs going on. I'm really sorry I didn't like watch any of these guys coming out from being hidden, but it's really cool to just see that, and you know, coming around the buildings gets backstabs going on, was all pretty dope. I think. I mean, gosh, if we could have... Oh, we can land there. I wonder why we didn't come in there a little bit earlier, because I would have loved to get some units set up there, because you get set up there, you can run over here, you can just start claiming the walls, you can start running down there and backstabbing these forces, really get some intense work done. A 2v4 really changes the game for the defenders and the attackers. You know, the attackers no longer really have the masses and resources to waste, you know? Usually in, say, a 3v4 or a 5v3, of course, you know, you are, as an attacker, you have a swarm of boys. You've got heaps of guys that you can go yeeting in and having, you know, like losing willy-nilly if you need to. But with something like this, it's not the case. You've got to be a lot more careful than you are otherwise. So over here, Guards of Khazad just finishing this off. I know that Nawaki and Thanchos, they do sort of play, I can't quite remember what they do sort of money-wise. It's a bit different, but yeah, it's something that does change the game for the attackers too. Over here, demons looking around. Nah. Just vibing about a bit. Orc hunters. Hammers of Gundabad getting in amongst the Hishari stalkers. Harbingers of Castamere, kind of being the last unit remaining. We'll probably hover over here. I really think this is sort of the last part of fighting. Those Royal Guard, I mean, those Royal Guard could, getting those boys on the walls could have been devastating. Demons up on the walls too. We do still have some nasty units to fight. These western, well, eastern men, or southern men primarily, actually, Umbar and Harad, fighting side by side here. They'll fight for a good while longer, of course, being some pretty stubborn dudes. But I think it looks like, because we've only got 700 frames left, I think we're probably getting a defeat in a minute. But no, so as I say, that was quite fun. Very confusing for a minute, really confusing for a minute, but once I kind of got my head around it, oh, we do see some sentinels making their way over. But yeah, and just unfortunate for some of those attackers, you know, like losing the Mumakil like that really is a shame. Had we been able to get those Mumakil inside running riot, especially because of the way that we were defending on the western side in a lot of these very small clumps, imagine the Mumakil just pouring themselves onto like a 2-unit defense. Oh my god, wiped. Would have been devastating. But no, let's see, lots of fun. Osgiliath is always pretty good because you do get a good mix of tactics going on. But yeah, that is one admitting think we're probably going to be getting Umbar out of here shortly. Umbar's still got a bit of power here. He's still got a lot of ammo, but as I say, it's just... Unless he could line these guys up and do this really nicely, but no, it makes sense that the Umbar guys are just like, nah, let's get out of here, boys. Unfortunately, sort of glitched out there. But yeah, let's see what we got going on from Nawaki's point of view. Elders there, double elders, yeah. So that's a lot of cash poured into them, but almost 300 kills from one of them. Very, very good. Poor Greenwood Rangers got absolutely targeted down, yeah. They got absolutely rinsed by something. May have been, say, the enemy Rangers and so on, but we really saw Warlord prioritise their destruction. Here he peng there, Woodland Protectors popping up out of nowhere. Palace Guard, 2 Palace Guard, doing some work. And Woodland Run Patrol. And the poor Sindar as well. The Sindar just got absolutely like targeted very, very well by Warlord. So yeah, great catch from them. Lots of prisoners taken for both boys today. But no, that was pretty wild. Definitely a lot of fun. I would have loved to have just seen what would have happened if Briar went all in on his side. When he started to gain some ground, if he had just gone all in, he would have wiped himself out. But it would have been interesting to see how much damage he could have done out there. It would have been very, very cool. And then we could maybe sort of backstab the defenders over here and helped out Adam and so on. If we had been quite successful, who knows. But yeah, cool. Thank you very much. And I will see you later.